I have a secret, but before I tell you about it, let's go make a tea. I'm trying to be so careful because this is piping hot. So I'm drinking a peach tranquility tea. I used to work at Starbucks, so I used to bring boxes of this tea home all the time. This is the only tea that I like, but it's also like one of the only decaffeinated ones that Starbucks has. And I don't want to drink a lot of caffeine right now because I'm pregnant. It feels so bizarre to say that. My eyes are literally watering already. I did not think that I was gonna cry during this video. It feels so bizarre to say that because I feel like the last, how many months? 6 months almost has been one of the most challenging 6 months, in the fact that there were so many unexpected things that came up, and there were so many moments where things just didn't go the way we wanted it to. And the fact that we're here right now, it is just, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. If this is the first time you've ever seen my face, my name is Sydney. I'm a perinatal athletic therapist and postnatal fitness specialist. On this page, I talk about all things perinatal therapy and health and wellness and pregnancy and postpartum exercise and all those kinds of things. And right now, I am talking about my own perinatal journey. And I have filmed, I wish I could tell you guys how many videos I have filmed and ready to go that I've just been waiting to release to you all until I could give you this wonderful announcement. And I am so excited to share my entire journey with you from literally June, when I made the call to get my IUD out, to now. And I hope to just continue right on through my whole pregnancy and into early motherhood. And I really hope that this can be a community of positivity. And my goal for this series, I guess, through my pregnancy currently, is to be super realistic and give you some advice if that's what you need, and just bring some positivity about some of these topics, because there are so many things in the topic of conception and pregnancy that are just not really talked about. And so that's really the goal of this whole process, is to just talk about it. I'm literally losing my words because I'm so excited, and I don't even know how to put words together, because I just want to smile all day long, and I just want to celebrate all day long. And I'm so excited. Well, that's still way too hot to drink. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about finding out I was pregnant, how I knew I was pregnant, how I told my husband I was pregnant, I am pregnant, and just kind of our plans for the early parts of pregnancy and sort of what we've talked about this far. Okay, let me take you back to June. So you will see in my next few videos that I post about our conception process that this has been a process that's been happening since June, and it's been a very long process of just waiting. We have just had so much waiting. So in June, I made the call to get my IUD out, and I couldn't get an appointment until July. So we waited until July 8th. Then I went to my doctor to get my IUD out, and she couldn't find it. So then I waited a month to be able to get an ultrasound. So then I waited another 3 weeks to be able to get my IUD out. And if you've had an IUD and tried to conceive after, the typical course of kind of waiting for that cycle to regulate is approximately 3 months. And so we noticed over over the first few cycles that my cycles were like 40 days long. And so at first I had been tracking everything. I was tracking I was tracking my temperature, I was tracking my ovulation, or trying to. I was tracking where I was in my cycle, I was tracking my cervical mucus, I was tracking so many things. It was just becoming so overwhelming. By this last cycle, I just said, you know what, we're not gonna track anything. I know when I started my last period, and I don't want to track anything else. It is so overwhelming. So essentially, the way I knew I was pregnant was at about day 32, my boobs were so sore. Like, I was like, oh, okay, this doesn't feel like period soreness. Typically my period soreness is like up closer to my armpit. And this was like the whole thing. The whole thing still is so sore. I had a feeling that this was just a different cycle. So I wanted to wait as long as possible because I knew essentially the longer I waited, the more solid that line was going to be. So I waited until day 32. And so this was last Sunday. This was first thing in the morning. Maybe not first thing. It was like probably around 10 o'clock. I took the test. I took this one. So I'll show you my little bits of proof here. This was the first one that I took. This one, it has faded quite a bit, but this one is from Dollarama. It's like a 1 response. And this is a clear blue. This one's very positive. If you can see that little plus sign. Seeing this line on here was the most incredible feeling. I recorded the video of me taking the test or looking at the test. So I'll show that to you guys now, and then I'll talk to you guys a little bit about it after. I kind of love this video. Every time I watch it, I cry a little bit. It just makes me really happy. So essentially from there, I was crying so much. Like my eyes were so red. I could not have hid it from my husband even if I tried. I was so excited, especially after the last few months we had been through. And so I immediately, I thought before this whole experience happened that I would be the one to get him a gift and to surprise him when he came home from work, but I could not hide this. There was no heckin' way that I could hide this. So I walked upstairs, he was still in bed, and I stood in the doorway with my hands behind my back, and then I held the test out and I just lost it. Like I completely lost it. And he didn't know if I was crying because it was positive or if I was crying because it was negative, because I cry all the time regardless of what's going on. And so he didn't know what was happening. And so I walked over and I showed him and he saw it. He was really excited. Today my app tells me I'm 5 weeks and 2 days. Now, I haven't had any kind of ultrasounds yet because it's still super early. Like I said, I'm 5 weeks and 2 days. You don't typically get that first ultrasound until 8 or 9 weeks. That's still really hot. So I'm kind of at that point where I know there's a baby inside me and I feel all of these different symptoms, but I have no verification that it's there aside from 2 pregnancy tests. And I won't know for another few weeks yet. Currently, the symptoms I'm experiencing at 5 weeks, like I said, boobs are so sore. Like, I wish I could explain how stinking sore my chest is. Like, it hurts so bad. I tried to go on the elliptical yesterday. It was not okay. It hurt so bad. So that's the first one and definitely the biggest one. I don't have any nausea or fatigue at this moment. I'm still doing everything that I normally did. Maybe I feel a little more tired, but I don't feel fatigued, I would say. So, okay, my lips are so chapped. Actually, they're getting a little bit better now, but for like all of last week, my lips were so chapped. And I'm not a person to get chapped lips, like at all. Even in the wintertime, like the weather is starting to get colder, so I thought maybe that was it. But even after being inside all day, like it didn't seem to be getting better. So I do think that chapped lips is one of my symptoms. And if you saw my phone before I took the test, every single symptom I had, like I would literally be typing in, is chapped lips a symptom of early pregnancy? Like I feel like everyone does this. But that was definitely like, I just didn't know. I didn't know what all could be symptoms of early pregnancy. I have been having super vivid dreams, like so vivid that I swear every single one of them could be real. And normally I do dream very vividly, but like, wow, my dreams could be happening in real life. I literally woke up, I had a dream that our friends had a conversation in a group chat about a family member passing away, and I went on my entire day thinking that that's what had happened. And when I went to the group chat, because I was thinking, okay, I wonder how they're doing, I went to the group chat to see, and the whole conversation I remembered from my dream was not there, and I was really confused. And so, yeah, like that's how vivid my dreams have been. I've had a little bit of cramping, just a teeny tiny bit, but that's pretty much it, I would say, at this point. We are not stuck to any sort of need to wait until X amount of weeks to tell people. We've told a couple people already, mainly because I need to tell someone. I need to have someone to tell before we tell our families and our friends, or our friend group. And so I just needed to tell a couple people. And so I did tell a few people. I told my doula. I told a couple of my really close friends. And yeah, we don't have a specific, we need to wait until X amount of weeks. We want to celebrate this child for as long as they're with us, and it doesn't matter to me if things don't go as planned, because I still have a life that's growing inside of me, and regardless of how things end up, that is still true. And so we want to celebrate as much as we can. And so essentially we are planning to tell my family next weekend, because that's when my family is all going to be together. We are moving my brother's family, and then we're going to be telling my husband's family at Christmas. And the reason for that, it's just the way that the timeline worked out. Otherwise we would tell them much sooner, but because the next time likely we are all going to be together is going to be at Christmas, he just thought it would be so fun to tell all of them, like while we're opening gifts, if we give his parents a gift that has a onesie in it and stuff like that. We just think that would be really fun to do that. So we are waiting technically until I think it's 9.5 or 10 weeks until we tell his family. And like I said, it's not for any particular reason. It's not, it's not because we don't want to tell anyone and we're not willing to. It's just that's what the timeline kind of worked out to. And then we don't know when we're going to tell our friends yet. It could be sooner, it could be later. We aren't really sure. So yeah, we've been talking a little bit about kind of birth plan and like those kinds of things. I will be filming so many videos in regards to every topic under the sun when it comes to pregnancy. I'm going to talk about my birth plan. I will talk about the things I did to prepare my body for pregnancy, how I'm exercising during pregnancy, all those kinds of things. I will talk about everything. I'm planning to do kind of a pregnancy like week by week so that I can kind of share with you the most realistic things of sort of what's happening during or throughout my pregnancy. What I would also really like to film is a Q&A video of sort of everything that everyone would like to know in regards to our conception, early pregnancy, finding out I'm pregnant. I will do another Q&A further down when it comes to birth prep and, you know, our birth plan and all those kinds of things. So if there are any questions in regards to that, please feel free to drop them here. I will just answer them in a later video. It just feels like my mind is blown and I'm over the moon, and the fact that there's literally a life growing inside of me blows my mind. It's the most incredible thing ever. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to experience it. And I may regret saying that, and I may, you know, I may take it back in a few weeks depending on how I'm feeling, but right now I'm so ecstatic. I think that pregnancy is a huge privilege, and it's not something that everyone gets to experience, and so it's an honor that I do not take lightly. And the fact that I am growing a child inside of me is something that I don't take lightly, and I will do everything in my power to protect this child and make sure they have a healthy growing environment, which means I will be maintaining my exercise routine as best as I possibly can. It's important to me that I continue to eat well. It's important to me that I continue to keep my stress low and all those kinds of things. I'm not going to go overboard with those things, but I just don't think being pregnant is an excuse to not take care of myself. I took care of myself before pregnancy. I'm going to do it during, and even more reason to do so. So like I said earlier, please feel free to subscribe if you would like to be a part of this journey and a part of this process with me, especially if you are going through it too. Like, I want to know how you guys are doing. I want to know who my pregnancy twins are, and like who's traveling on this same sort of journey with me, because it's just so exciting and we get to do it together. And I think that it'd be really fun to kind of travel through that process with more of you. So look out for my next couple videos. I'm gonna kind of mix in, I think, conception stuff with pregnancy stuff. I don't exactly know how I'm gonna release stuff yet, but anyways, look out for my next few videos. Click the notification bell if you'd like to know exactly when a video is posted, and I will talk to you guys soon.